the impact that we work in Parliament is we must spearhead the program that these people, the garden tenements, can't be living a garden tenements right of last 60 years. They have been living like that. So the government must spearhead a program that, like late Pradhan Singh Premadasa, he came from Kesalwatta. He came and gave a 1 million housing program by year 2000.
Is this model of governance one that should be emulated?
Yes, that's the type of government that should be emulated. We want to tell the people.
So you want another Premadasa?
We want another turbulent person or personality of the nature, so that he can. You see,
one could argue that the incumbent president is of such a stature and character.
I like this principle because he's a man.
One could argue that the current incumbent is of such a stature and will get the job done in a.
I don't see that at the moment, that the president of this country did not spearhead the program proper. We have debated that in Parliament. That there was an organization that built the Cement Corporation, Engineering Corporation, the Public Utilities Board, the Common Amenities Board, was all brought together during the time of Pradhan Singh Premadasa. At this time, when there are more members of the cabinet, they have dispersed it to different individuals, and they are all having their own agenda of work.
The question commonly asked is whether it's from the national list or whether it is from people who stand up for campaign and get elected. What is it that in Parliament today will appeal to business persons, professionals such as yourselves? Because once you get into the fray, one can correctly argue that it is so corrupt, it is so dirty, that A, it excludes the people you would want to see as representatives, and that B, with due respect to your politics and how you have conducted yourself, that once you do get in, that it is extremely difficult to push forward one's own agenda for reform, because you're dealing with a system far wider and more deeply entrenched in how it has always been.
My vision is, you see, you can't give up. You have to fight. You see, the people who come from the areas outside the urban areas, from the far-flung places, Hambantota, Ampari district or the Jaffna district, you see, you don't have intellectuals who are talking by small and medium-scale industry. People who are, I'm a person who are covered for the industry, business acumen. I have done all types of things. So at least I can give my part of the input in the Parliament. When it comes to the BTT, when they start suddenly from the Western Provincial Council, they increase 1% to 5%. It is a difficult thing. Everything will go up. The Western Provincial Council was only motivate this to make more money into their coffers. But they did not think about the poor people. So we debated it in Parliament, and we got a resolution back to revive it, come to 1%. You say 5% is big money. And when it comes to small and medium scale industry, there is no support. If you look at the country's economy, that is the only way that money is coming into this country is from foreign recruitment, people working abroad. Our major industries have fallen. Our garment industry is on the verge of collapse, and we have collapsed already almost 60–70%. The GSP Plus is an important factor to this country. We find rather than to make an industry is very difficult. To close up, it is so simple.
Post-war, the problems on the ground that you speak of, do you feel that now with the war over and perhaps arguably defense expenditure certainly not increasing but tapering down over the course of the years and the decades ahead, that the issues that you point to and the underprivileged communities that you have highlighted, that their fate might be somewhat more hopeful, better?
We are hoping against hope that it should be.
Why? Why should you hope against hope even
Because
post-war?
the promises made by incoming members of Parliament into the people, they have been hoodwinked. We can see that.
But why should no? But on that point, despite what you've done, you belong to an architecture of promise-making and a lack of delivery. Why should people believe those such as yourself and others, of course, with the best of intentions,
what I'm saying is
who have gone into this system and they'll feel like, why?
People live with hope that it will be a better tomorrow. Now that the war is open, looking at the war, situation, post-situation, this country, the biggest boom that this country can anticipate is tourism. If you see, we are dotted around the city, the entire island with lot of tourist hotels. We need another 100,000, 200,000 tourist rooms for an accommodation. Today, because of the war situation in this country, places like Maldives, Bahamas have made big money.
But the media has been reporting that the tourism is doing quite well, actually.
No, but they report, but you don't see. If you go now, I lived in the era of 1970s, pre-JVP era. If you walk down the Chatham Street, there'll be more 10 whites than 2 or 3 Sri Lankans. It'll be like you're in a foreign country. Today you don't see that. You see barricades. You see police officers, army officers in the street. You give the notion to the international that this country is still at war. I'm saying my particular the motto. When I contested the previous parliament, it says Jatika Samagiya Godanagam. Now I am saying Jatika Samagiya Sankhitya. You see, we are a people, our country is a multi-ethnic, multi-racial, multi-religious group, and we have to have our shares and we have to coordinate and work.
Do you find that resonates with your constituency as well? Do they actually support your, that kind of thinking?
Yes, what we say, we must live together in harmony. We must share each other. We are brothers. We are one people, one nation. We are all Sri Lankan.
But is that coming from the constituency as well?
Yes, it's coming from the constituency as well. We live together in harmony. Peace and amity is one of the biggest programs that we conduct. When it says peace, the President Mahinda Rajapaksa was not on peace, he was at war, then we couldn't continue that way. There is no discussion, no consensus that we could reach for peace when they are at war.
The future of the SLMC proper, coalition hopping, one does not know what the electoral outcome will be. We will not go into that, the domain of speculation. But post-April 8th, you said that you are not a political party which, in a sense, can stand on its own. But in terms of the memory of the person who invited you to join the party, what do you think the future of the party is post-parliamentary election and moving on, into the future?
Yeah.
What are the avenues that the party itself will take to respond to your constituency?
The Sri Lanka Muslim Congress is a party that has we control 13 local governments in the east, and our problem is merging and demerging in the north and east. It is not, government cannot force the merger, and the government cannot force the demerger. You can put it in writing whatsoever, in law anyway, but merging is up to people of that area. It is up to the common people who are the Tamil-speaking people, where the Muslims and the Tamils are the Tamil-speaking people of the East, and they are the only people who can cut together and merge and demerge if they wish. So the government cannot put rules and implement them by force to merge and demerge.
How will this now be linked to the SLMC's political
SLMC
future?
is a major political party in the East. It counts almost 80 to 85% of the people are diehard SLMC followers. When you take the Eastern Province, my leader, Honorable Rauf Hakim, was the member who was elected in Kandy. He went to Ampara, he got elected. He went to Trincomalee district, he got elected. He has come back to Kandy again. My leadership can go anywhere and he can get elected because the people are behind. He is the only leader, a Muslim leader, who has a backing of over 500,000 people. No other Muslim in this country has that kind of backing.
Do you feel that, I believe it was earlier this year, perhaps late last year, that there were media reports that political parties pegged to ethnic identity, words to the effect that either they won't be allowed in the future, or they won't look too kindly upon. Do you feel that's fair? That's a fair statement?
You see, in Parliament, they bought regulations to say anything that is Tamil, Muslim, or
correct. This was
that they should not bring it.
Communal harm.
You see, more. If you look at the political arena world over, Sri Lanka is not the only country that has ethnic, and everywhere. Ethnic ratios, behind ethnic ratios there is political.
No, but the point is that you feel that there is still a justification for a communal basis for a political party.
Yes.
That is not, you feel, diluted, or the need for which is diluted after the end of the war.